Have you ever looked at your keyboard and wondered, how in the world is this thing made? All those keys, the clicky sounds, the lights, and even the feel under your fingers, none of it happens by accident. Behind the scenes, the humble keyboard goes through a surprisingly intricate process before it ends up on your desk. Today, we're diving deep into the factory floor to uncover how computer keyboards are made, from raw materials to finished product. Let's get started, right here, on History of Simple Things. Before we get into the manufacturing, it helps to know what a keyboard is actually made of. At its core, a typical keyboard has a few main components: the keycaps, what you press; switches, what registers the key press; the circuit board, which sends the signal; the frame or chassis; and sometimes backlighting components like LEDs. Mechanical keyboards also have springs and housings for each individual key switch, while membrane keyboards use pressure pads. Each part has its own production journey, and they all come together like puzzle pieces in the end. It all starts with design. Engineers and designers sketch out the layout, like QWERTY, AZERTY, or gaming-specific formats. This is when decisions are made about key placement, size, function keys, multimedia buttons, and even the shape of the keyboard itself. Once the layout is finalized, 3D models are created using CAD software. These models help manufacturers test the fit of components and make sure everything aligns perfectly, especially when dealing with compact or ergonomic layouts. Designing isn't just about function, it's also about aesthetics. This is where choices about color, lighting, keycap fonts, and even sound profile come into play. Let's move to the keycaps, the part your fingers touch every day. Keycaps are usually made from plastic, and two types dominate the market: ABS, acrylonitrile butadiene styrene, and PBT, polybutylene terephthalate. ABS is cheaper and shinier, while PBT is more durable and resistant to wear. To make keycaps, tiny plastic pellets are heated and injected into metal molds using a process called injection molding. These molds are extremely precise, with the shape of each key carved into them. Once molded, the legends, or letters, are added. This can be done through pad printing, laser etching, dye sublimation, or double-shot molding, a premium method where the legend is made from a different colored plastic entirely, so it never wears off. After printing, the keycaps go through quality checks for shape, texture, and legibility. Now for the part that gives keyboards their feel: the switches. There are two main types: mechanical and membrane. In mechanical keyboards, each key has an individual switch made up of several small parts, usually a plastic housing, a spring, and a stem that moves up and down. These components are often manufactured separately and then assembled by automated machines or human workers on production lines. Brands like Cherry MX, Gateron, and Kale are famous for their mechanical switches. Each variation, red, blue, brown, etc., has a different feel and sound. Membrane keyboards, on the other hand, use a rubber dome sheet laid over a circuit. When a key is pressed, it pushes the dome down, which connects the circuit and sends the signal. While cheaper to produce, membrane switches tend to wear out faster and offer less tactile feedback. Next, let's talk about the brain of the keyboard, the PCB, or printed circuit board. This board contains copper traces that act like highways for electrical signals. When a key is pressed, it completes a circuit that tells your computer exactly what you typed. The PCB is made in specialized electronics factories. A blank board is first coated with copper, then etched to form the circuit pattern. Holes are drilled, and components like resistors, microcontrollers, and diodes are added, either by hand or robotic arms. Modern keyboards often use surface mount technology, SMT, where tiny components are soldered directly onto the board. Once the soldering is done, the PCBs are tested for conductivity and any defects. If you've ever used a gaming keyboard, you know how important lighting can be. This is where LEDs come in. Manufacturers attach small LEDs underneath or near each key on the PCB. These lights can be single color or full RGB, allowing for dynamic lighting effects. Now, you might think the keyboard is ready to ship, but not quite yet. Before that, it has to pass through quality control. Each unit is tested for key registration, backlight functionality, port connection, and durability. Some factories even use robots to press each key thousands of times to simulate long-term use. Defective units are pulled from the line, and the good ones move on to the packaging stage. Once approved, keyboards are packed into boxes with manuals, cables, wrist rests, or extra keycaps, depending on the model. They're sealed, labeled, and loaded into shipping cartons. From here, they head out to distributors, retailers, or directly to customers. Some high-end or enthusiast keyboards are shipped in custom packaging or foam-lined boxes to prevent any damage during transit. So, the next time you tap away at your keyboard, whether you're gaming, coding, or just typing an email, remember that it took a remarkable chain of steps to create that satisfying click under your fingers. From plastic pellets to precision electronics, each component was carefully designed and assembled to work seamlessly. It's easy to overlook something so common, but now you know, behind every keystroke lies a hidden world of design, technology, and manufacturing. Your everyday keyboard is more than just a tool. It's a small feat of engineering. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.